Welcome to World Action and Reaction News. Please press subscribe button and press bell icon if you are new to the channel. Let's start news snapshot. India has taken over a strategically important port in Iran, giving it a potential bulwark against China's growing influence in the region and access to Afghanistan and Europe that bypasses Pakistan. India signed the lease on Saturday for Chabahar port in eastern Iran, about 90 kilometers west of the Pakistani port of Gwadar, which is being developed by China. Gwadar is the centerpiece of a massive Chinese infrastructure program in Pakistan and is expected to be the site of China's second overseas military base, according to a U.S. Department of Defense report last year. India and Iran signed the 18-month agreement for the first phase of the Chabahar port building after talks between Iranian President Hassan Rouhani and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. Once completed, the port will open up a new sea rail transport route between India, Iran, and Afghanistan, bypassing rival and neighbor Pakistan. Indian officials said they hoped the route would boost annual trade with Afghanistan from $700 million to $1 billion in 3 years. New Delhi sent shipments of wheat aid to Afghanistan through Chabahar last year. India on Tuesday test-fired indigenously developed intermediate-range ballistic missile Agni II from the Abdul Kalam Island off the Odisha coast. The missile, mounted on a mobile launcher, was fired from Launching Complex 4 of Abdul Kalam Island off Odisha coast at about 08:38 am on Tuesday. The trial was conducted by the Strategic Forces Command, SFC, of Indian Army as part of user training exercise, said defense sources. Notably, Agni II missile has already been inducted into the Indian Army. The two-stage missile, equipped with advanced high-accuracy navigation system, guided by a novel scheme of state-of-the-art command and control system, was propelled by the solid rocket propellant system. The surface-to-surface missile can carry a nuclear payload of 1,000 kilograms. The range of the 20-meter-long missile, weighing 17 tons, can also be increased to 3,000 kilometers by reducing the payload. India on Tuesday test-fired indigenously developed intermediate-range ballistic missile Agni II from the Abdul Kalam Island off the Odisha coast. The missile, mounted on a mobile launcher, was fired from Launching Complex 4 of Abdul Kalam Island off Odisha coast at about 08:38 am on Tuesday. The trial was conducted by the Strategic Forces Command, SFC, of Indian Army as part of user training exercise, said defense sources. Notably, Agni II missile has already been inducted into the Indian Army. The two-stage missile, equipped with advanced high-accuracy navigation system, guided by a novel scheme of state-of-the-art command and control system, was propelled by the solid rocket propellant system. The surface-to-surface missile can carry a nuclear payload of 1,000 kilograms. The range of the 20-meter-long missile, weighing 17 tons, can also be increased to 3,000 kilometers by reducing the payload. China is upgrading air defense of its Western Theater Command, which looks after the security along the line of actual control, to confront any threat from India, an official media report quoted a military expert as saying. The Chinese military has released photographs of a J-10 fighter jet, a lightweight multi-role fighter aircraft, along with J-11, a single-seat, twin-engine fighter jet, flying over the high-altitude plateau in western China during the current Chinese New Year and Spring Festival holiday, state-run Global Times reported on Tuesday. The jets are attached to an aviation brigade of the Air Force under the PLA Western Theater Command, the website of the People's Liberation Army said. China has also recently commissioned its stealth fighter, the J-20, which is first in the region. The Western Theater Command is mainly responsible for mountain warfare at the border area with India. The LAC stretches to 3,488 km, including the high-altitude Tibetan Plateau. India and China have been trying to reset their ties after last year's 73-day standoff between the two sides at Doklam and in Sikkim section of boundary. It is significant for China to strengthen control of airspace over the mountainous region, Song Zhongping, a Chinese military expert and TV commentator, told the Global Times. Strengthening the 3.5 generation fighter jets or even stationing more advanced fighters in the Western Theater Command has been urgent for the PLA, Song said, adding that such upgrades have been usually first conducted in South and East Theater Commands. Considering that India possesses third-generation fighter jets, China's stationing of its 3.5 generation jets would be able to deal with any current threat from India, Song said. Apparently referring to India's acquisition of Rafale fighter jets from France, Song said, with India importing new jets, China will continue strengthening its fighter jets in the Western Theater Command. Since he took over power in 2013, President Xi Jinping, who is also General Secretary of the Communist Party of China and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, has been pressing the PLA to step up live firing drills to win local wars. Nepal's new Prime Minister P Oli has said he wants to deepen ties with China to explore more options and get more leverage in his dealings with India in keeping with the times. Oli, widely regarded as pro-China, also said he wants to update relations with India in keeping with the times and favors a review of all special provisions of the Indo-Nepal relations, including the long-established practice of Nepalese soldiers serving India's armed forces. We have great connectivity with India and an open border. All that's fine and will increase connectivity even further, but we can't forget that we have two neighbors. We don't want to depend on one country or have one option, he told Hong Kong's South China Morning Post in an interview. About how he plans to work out relations with India, Oli said, "We've always had excellent relations with India. There were some elements in the Indian establishment that caused some misunderstanding, but Indian leaders have assured us that there will be no interference in the future and we will respect each other's sovereign rights." The Aeronautical Development Agency has issued an expression of interest seeking the participation of vendors in the manufacturing of the next-generation technology demonstrator, which would demonstrate the capabilities of the basic platform out of which the advanced medium combat aircraft would be derived. The issuing if the EOI indicates that wind tunnel tests and the preliminary design review might have been completed. The vendors would be required to design tooling and processes for manufacturing parts based on the drawings presented by the DRDO, prepare sub-assembly jigs and test rigs for the components, LRUs, and the whole airframe. The NGTD would be integrated at the final assembly and check-out facility at the Solar Air Force Base, Coimbatore. FACO would include infrastructure and hangar spacing provided by DRDO where the final assembly, integration, and flight testing would be conducted. The whole process is expected to require expertise in handling aerospace-grade alloys with aluminium, steel, titanium, and composites. The entire external surface is to be manufactured using carbon fiber composites. System integration capabilities concerning propulsion, mechanical, electrical, flight control and avionics would be key for final outfitting. The complete process from raw material procurement to final rollout of the first technology demonstrator is to take 3.5 years, the second TD would be rolled out in the next 6 months. ADA is aiming to complete the vibration, structural tests, and the flight testing process in 6 years. The timelines look highly ambitious considering the technical challenges associated, and one can only hope that ADA is not committing the same mistakes it committed with the GTRE in the LCA/Kaveri program.